Hey everyone, welcome back to Comics. This video is about those creatures we don't want in our comic books, and those are silverfish. You know, those slithering beasts that lay a ridiculous amount of eggs and eat your precious comic books. And this video is about the 6 tips I have to protect your precious goods from those, well, actually beautiful animals. But we don't want them in our homes. Stay tuned, please watch this video, and if you want, please subscribe to my channel because that will really help me out in growing my channel. Have fun watching, everyone. And the first tip I have for beating the silverfish is actually, before you buy any comic book, check them out. You can see it in the inlay here of the comic books. If something wet, or if it is you have white, if they lay white eggs, and if you have black crumbs in it, it's a big no. Don't buy it. It will probably give you a very nice comic book with a lot of friends in it. And also, you have to remind yourself, where am I buying my comic book from? If you buy it online, check the seller out, check his reviews, his references. If it is a lot of references, you can probably, well, trust him. But if you have a very cheap comic, too cheap to buy, well, it could be a good buy, but you can have a lot of friends with them as well. Check it out, check the place out, check the seller out. If you buy it at a thrift store, check the comic book out, because that's the most important thing you can do to prevent silverfish entering your home. So you brought a silverfish from something, someone, someplace to your place, and you are panicking. My comic books. Well, tip number 5. There is a way to deter them from the place where you store your comic books, and that is the way of smell. They don't like clover, and if you can see it, yep, they really don't like this smell. And it reminds me of some dried, well, meat, to be honest. And they don't like lavender. And this one really smells nice for us. But silverfish, they hate the smell. And that is one way to lure them away from your precious comic book. So use the smell. Use lavender, clover, and there are probably some other smells they really don't like, but these are the 2 that I do like. Tip number 4 is actually the very hard one. It's a very difficult to create a base air humidity in your comic book room if you have a normal house. If you are a collector, have slabs, have all the cool ones, you probably know it, and you have the proper machines to have a constant air humidity, but you need to have a constant air humidity of around 50 for books. For houses you need to switch between the 40% and 60%. But books thrive on a constant air humidity. And how do you get a constant air humidity? Air humidity? Well, you need to have machines that pull the water out of the air and, well, create a nice base air humidity. I have a machine that I put on in the morning for 20 to 30 minutes, and I have a this one, and you probably know them from the, well, the commercials. It drains out all the area, all the water out of the air and make it a little bit dry. But I don't want it to be too dry, so I ventilate it every morning for around 20 to 30 minutes, because silverfish don't like the wind and the cold as well. So air humidity, you need to ventilate. You need to have, well, something that draws the water out of the air, and probably the best thing is just use a machine and with a hydrometer where you can see what the air humidity is. Almost to tip number 3, and it's getting more important now, so stay tuned. Tip number 3, and it's the one that is most important for the American comic books, because, well, most superheroes are wearing capes. And you can think, why aren't my comics wearing capes and wearing suits to be protected? Well, sometimes the answer is just in the comic book itself. And that's most important for the most important tip at the end of the video as well. But this one, a Swamp Thing, well, he isn't wearing a cape, but actually bag and boards is the number 1 tip I could give for all American comic books to protect your comic books. Bag and boards. It will save your comic book, because heroes wear capes and suits. Your comic books need to wear them as well. Like I said, sometimes the answer is within the comic book itself. Stay tuned for tip number 3. And I'm picking another one because I can't. Bag and boards. Boards and bag. Remember it. It will save your comic book and your collection alive. Tip number 2. And this is the more sensitive tip I can give you, and it's traps. Silverfish traps and other bugs. And I have put this one at my comic books for almost a year now, and I had a lot of silverfish in my room and in other rooms as well. So I wonder how many silverfish are in it right now, and I really need to change this trap. And yep, here you have it. There is actually one silverfish in it, and I don't think, and it's sadly, there's a spider in it as well. So when you use traps, remind yourself you are, killing other animals as well. And animals, well, that's for the next tip, by the way. Traps, use them if you have a lot of silverfish and you want to get rid of them really fast. They are cheap. There are different kind of traps. You can use natural traps with a potato, put it in a bag, some water in it, and they will all flock into the potato. Or you use those glue traps, or you use the most dangerous, and I really don't recommend it, the spray poison. The reason why I really don't recommend that one is because it's actually dangerous for your kid and other pets as well, and you will kill a lot of the natural habitat of your home. So don't try to use the sprays, use the traps. It will kill some other animals as well, and that's kind of sad, and they are really needed for, well, the most important tip I can give you to protect your comic books from silverfish. And I'm going to lay this one because I really want to know how much silverfish I have wandering in my comic book room. And I have to, well, stay tuned for the next and most important tip I can give you to protect your comic books. And, well, you really want to save them for the next generation. The final tip I can give you to protect your comic books is actually very simple but very hard to master, because the answer is within the comic book itself. I don't have to remind you that there is a superhero called the Friendly Neighborhood Spider. Spider-Man. And I think the creator of some of the very cool characters in comic books provided us with the answer of how to protect our precious comic books. Of course, nature has a way to balance itself. If there are too many silverfish, that means you have not a lot of predators that feast on them. So if you are at a place, if you are moving into a new place, don't remove all the spiders. Spider-Man will protect your comic books. And it's not throwing your Spider-Man book at the comic books, but don't remove all the spiders at your comic stories, because spiders actually are the natural predators of silverfish. So remember, if your wife say, remove all the spiders, cherish them, nourish them, and don't remove them from your place where you are holding your comic books. Spiders are the key to removing silverfish, or at least most of the silverfish in your home. And I don't have a lot of spiders anymore at my comic zone. Comic zone isn't, well, but that's probably because I don't have a lot of silverfish anymore at this place, but I do have them at another place, and that's the attic, because I have a lot of spiders there, and I saw in my traps that there were a lot of small silverfish. So the big battle of spiders and silverfish had probably gone to a different place, and I'm really satisfied by that, because my comic books are safe at this moment. But I'm wary. I am following my own tips of checking out my comics, air humidity, setting up some traps, and actually, well, yeah, just be cautious of any silverfish or any creature entering my comic book zone, except my kid, because he can actually read them. Have fun everyone. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you liked it. And if you do, please do a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and well, up to the next video. See you later everyone.